Come on, where is it? I knew I should have finished this project last year. I built this camera storage unit last year and I love it. It's got space for my tripods, all my bags, ready to go, fully loaded. It's super efficient and I'm happy with it. I even built out this charging wall with hidden storage behind so you could put all the cables and clutter here so that it wouldn't be visible from the outside. But my favorite part was this huge drawer that I could perfectly organize all of my camera gear into. In reality though, I never finished this project and this drawer has become a mosh pit for random cables and bits of camera gear and random things, growing fuller and fuller by the day. The problem was that I simply did not have enough time to painstakingly measure each and every item with a pair of calipers. So thanks to the sponsor of today's video, RevoPoint, we are going to finish this project off as quickly as possible using the MetroY Pro. The plan is actually really simple. Number 1, scan all of my camera gear with the MetroY Pro. Number 2, use those scans to create cutouts from Gridfinity solids in Fusion 360. Number 3, 3D print or CNC all of those models. Number 4, live blissfully with organized camera gear. And number 5 is a bonus, finish the charging wall. I decided that it would be best to scan everything first so that I can organize the layout and optimize it in Fusion. This also gives me a great opportunity to get rid of some of the stuff that doesn't actually belong in here. The MetroY Pro is a high-precision 3D scanner built for speed, accuracy, and real-world workflows. Using industrial-grade blue light, it captures detail down to 0.01 millimeters, even on glossy, dark, or complex surfaces. You get multiple scanning modes, including single line for deep holes, parallel lines for fine geometry, cross-line lasers for black and reflective parts, and full-field structured blue light for fast, marker-free scans. With Wi-Fi 6 on board, you can scan untethered and move freely around your subject while monitoring everything in real time. Pair it with the dual-axis turntable, hit one button, and you get clean, color-accurate models ready for CAD, inspection, or 3D printing. For the majority of the camera gear that I have, I used the cross-line laser mode with the black object setting enabled. That combined with my old Lazy Susan made for quick work of these scans, with each one taking between 5 to 10 minutes. I noticed that with some of the more complex dark items, it would take a long time to get all of the details, so I added a touch of scanning spray which sped up the process quite a bit, but isn't actually necessary. I was surprised with how well the scanner did at picking up black, dark, shiny objects. The next step is called meshing, where the Revo software combines those scans into meshes that we can use in our modeling software. So now that I've got 52 different scans completed, it's time to nail down this one simple process that turns these scans into perfect Gridfinity organizing containers. These steps are also pretty simple, but vary depending on the item. Number 1, import the 3D scan as a mesh and orient it. Number 2, either subtract the 3D scan from the bin or make a sketch based on the scan and cut that out. It kind of depends on the object for which process works better in this scenario, but we're just going to call it subtract the scan. And number 3, then we just clean up the model a bit and export it as a mesh and get ready for printing. A few key things that I've learned while doing this 52 times is that Fusion 360 doesn't love meshes. Subtracting doesn't mean that you will be able to slide the object into the subtracted space, and that having all of the objects in Fusion 360 is really valuable for the conceptual phase of trying to fit all of these things into this specific drawer. I wasn't expecting just how helpful this would be. But once I nailed down the layout fully, I added Gridfinity solid bins around each of my sections and then either extruded or subtracted all of the gear away from those models. It's pretty simple, although it did take the better part of a day to get all of the scanning and modeling finished. This is by far the most amount of components and Gridfinity models I've ever had in one project before. It's really cool being able to see it come to life digitally. Finally, it's time to get printing. Sticking with the camera gear theme and style, I decided to go with the majority black theme with a few accent colors, depending on if the bin would be storing camera, audio, grip, or cables. I like visual cues like that. So this is real organization, right? Custom made homes for every piece of gear. Starting from the right, we have a bin for my vlogging camera and lens so that it's always ready to go. It's also closest to me. Then we have my bigger camera and lens as well as the wide angle lenses, including the Laowa 10mm. Tucked away in the back corner is a general bin for lens hoods and caps and filter rings. Moving to the left, we have the slide-in slots for lens filters, monitors, lights, and some batteries, ending with a few extra audio bits. In the middle is a spot for my air blower and lens cleaning swabs, and the next bin is for the DJI mic case and lav mics, and then a few stacked bins for bigger grip gear. Another middle bin here is for the DJI Osmo Nano and the newer V-mount battery. I love this thing. Back to the back, we have a big bin for shotgun mics and a few general bins for audio accessories, cables, and then of course a screwdriver and some Allen keys. Moving to the final section of the drawer, I designed these 3x1 bins for screws, spigots, cold shoes, cables, and more. I doubled the size for some Velcro ties, Osmo and GoPro mounts, and made a few even bigger for grip and tripod quick release plates. And finally, I made one for my shoulder strap and gaff tape, which brings us to the end of the drawer. It's 2 to 3 layers thick in certain spots, but I really like it. This level of organization is something I've aspired to for a long time. I've been doing videography for more than 10 years, and I've never been this organized. But man, does it ever feel good. I also printed a few base plates for my windowsill over here so that if I take something out like a cable, I can leave the empty one here so that I know where it belongs when I'm done my shoot, and I don't end up with a drawer full of empty bins. We made it to the bonus territory. It's time to take on the charging wall. I didn't actually film any of this, but I got to work super early today and scanned and modified everything I need for the charging wall in a total of 4 hours. I've really nailed down the process for making these organizational type things, and I'll link in the description below all the 3D scans and all the 3D models from this project. If you do decide to download the scans, you will notice that some are better than others. While using the MetroY Pro, one thing I learned was that with complex items, the amount of time you spend scanning directly correlates to the quality of your scan. With some of these items, I knew that I would only be modeling around a certain section of the object, so I didn't scan the rest very in-depthly. But you can take a look and see the results for yourself if you want. Overall, compared to my previous scanner, I found this one to work a lot better due to the cross-line lasers on dark parts, and the much more reliable scanning software. If you are looking for a scanner, I would definitely recommend the MetroY Pro based on my now 50+ scans. Since I finished this project, RevoPoint has actually released another new version of the software, adding 10 new features including high-speed scanning and a much appreciated delete unselected content button. Very nice. I have two main goals for this charging wall. One, to be able to easily plug in and access my gear that's charging on it, and two, to hide as much of the wires and charging stuff as possible. Starting on the right hand side, I decided to make a similar design to Schat's, whose video I'll link up below, with the dispenser style battery mount. I added a bit of red and green for dead and charged because I just needed a little bit of color on here. I also made a dispenser for my 18650 batteries and then made little mounts for each of these chargers. I'm keeping it simple, so that'll be everything on the right hand side, with a nice flow starting from dead at the top to charged at the bottom. On the other side, using the 3D scans, I quickly made mounts for my drone controllers, drone batteries, gimbal handles, smoke machine, and DJI mic case. Overall, the charging wall was actually pretty simple, and I had just worked it up in my head to be this huge project, so I kept procrastinating it. So far, it's not looking too bad. I won't bore you with the cable management, but this is what it looks like before, and this is what it looks like now. It's definitely still in a working through it phase, but I got a bunch of USB-C wires lined up, and I have a few that go up and down, and sorta. I printed these little clips which really help line everything up. But the whole point of the hanging Schat doors is that the wires are hidden. I don't have to look at them. I can just close this up, and there we have it. I've actually been really busy with shoots again now that the new year started. So I've been using the system for a couple days now as I finished up the project. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I've already saved like at least an hour or two knowing where all my stuff is. And I'm excited to see how it progresses through the year. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.